California dreaming about you.
Well, when you talk about cars that decided to come to pit road and who didn't, we look at two Hendrick teammates, the 24 of Chase Elliott and the 88 of Jeff Gordon. They're the last two cars on the racetrack with old tires. So now, Jeff, they're in a very difficult situation because this two of Brad Keselowski, he has fresher rear tires. He's going to accelerate off the corner better, and you see continuing to put pressure on the 88, and he has to because behind him, the 4 is looking to pass him, the 41. What happens with these two old tires? They kind of stack everyone up.
Yeah, they do, and you made a good point earlier in the race that Keselowski has to make this move at the right time, because if he makes it at the wrong time and it doesn't work out, then Kevin Harvick's right there to take advantage of it. So you never want to be the last guy with new tires, and sometimes the strategy just works out that way.
Well, here's the patience, Rick. Here's where it comes into, right? Can Brad look for a completely clean way? Now he's going to look outside the 88. The 88 is going to have to defend, because once the 2 gets him up, which he's done right here, this isn't going to be one spot. This is going to be at least 4 or 5 spots before the 88 gets back in line. He's already looking for information for TJ Majors. Where can I get down? No hole behind the 4. No hole behind the 41. They're looking already way back to that 43 car, perhaps letting him in.
Look at the 11 car. He's a car that got called, Denny Hamlin got called speeding on pit road early and worked himself up to about 6th or 7th on this restart, but he has gotten hung out on the outside, and he is desperately looking for a way to get to the bottom. He sees that hole right there. It's just not quite big enough. The timing wasn't right for him.
Yeah, it's a difficult decision to make. Do you race as hard as you can and hope a hole opens up, or do you go back a little bit and take it easy and find a hole that's possibly like behind the 41 here?
Yeah, like right now, he sees that hole. He's got to feel it. He's got to aggressively get in there. Good job.
And you heard his spotter telling him there's a quick hole, get down. Now the 88's going to have that issue. TJ Majors is going to try to tell Jeff Gordon when he can get down. Does he try to beat the 3? Right here, he's going to squeeze him down. The 3's going to be there. The 41's, I'm sure, going to fill the hole. The question is, how about his teammate? Is Chase Elliott going to let the 88 in?
Now, we saw early in the race, the 22 at the end of pit road stopped trying to prevent from being on the outside. That's why Denny Hamlin just lost 5 spots because he was on the outside.
Yeah, the outside groove here just isn't very competitive compared to the bottom. There's a couple new patches of concrete on the outside in turn 4 that makes it very challenging to find grip when you go through that concrete on the outside lane. Obviously in 1 and 2, it's also not very competitive. They start to use that outside lane as the tires start to wear. You can get into the corner wide and high and make a straighter run off the bottom to save that forward drive. But early in the run, you need to be on the bottom.
Yeah, when you have that grip, you just try to make the track as short as you can possibly make it. When you lose the grip, you try to open the track up a little bit.
Looking back from Kurt Busch, and he has Jeff Gordon, 9-time winner at this racetrack, right behind him in the 88.
This is when it's so difficult to be able to be patient and know that if this goes 80 laps, I've got to have some rear tire left on the car for the drive off and getting into the corner. So right now, you might have a fast car. The 88's looking hard to try to get around this 41, but you don't want to use it up too much, even though your car's very competitive. This could go long green, and it's still early in the race to where tire wear is very critical.
I think the other thing you pay attention to, how aggressive you are early in a run, is where are you? If you're sitting there running in a position that if you get a caution, you're going to restart in 5th, 7th, 9th on the inside, then you don't push quite so hard. But if you have a restart position that's going to put you on the outside, then you aggressively go try to take that spot. Because if you're going to get a short run, you have to assume you're not going to pit.
Another car that I think has made improvements has been this 88. We've been looking at lap times, Dale. This 88 has been very quick the last 20 laps or so.
Yeah, it's no surprise. Jeff Gordon, so smooth here. Obviously, they must have made a few adjustments to help Jeff because his car's gotten a little more competitive. He's been the fastest car on the track 10 of the last 20 laps.
And we've talked about how dominant the 88 driver, Jeff Gordon, has been. 9 career wins at Martinsville. That's the most among the active drivers. He has been dominant at this racetrack. Sprint's network reliability now within 1% of Verizon. Switch today, save 50% on those Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile rates. You can visit a Sprint store or sprint.com/network today.
Rick, can you imagine being in Jeff Gordon's house when it strikes noon? He has 9 grandfather clocks, trying to add a 10th to it, and he's been awfully quick, as you guys were mentioning a moment ago. Today is his 805th career start. I asked him this morning, is it the last one? He said, he choked. He said, well, I thought Homestead Miami last year was the last one. He said, but I think this is definitely the last start for me. He said, but you know what? There's been so much fun in this 88 car this year, getting this car ready for Dale Earnhardt Jr. next year, continuing to progress this team, continuing to make us better. Sure, I would love to finish with a win, but that's been very gratifying for me, and I've learned a lot behind the wheel this year. So, Junior, Jeff Gordon's trying to get your car ready for next year, and he said he's going to do all he can to make sure it's good for next April when you show up here at Martinsville.
Yeah, that's one important thing about this team is that we need to continue to compete, go out there and run well. Jeff's an amazing driver, probably the best substitute guy could have, I imagine, especially at Martinsville. So we're definitely not going to miss a beat when it comes to Martinsville, and that's important for all the rest of the tracks throughout the rest of the season. So when we get in the car in February, it's as if we never left.
You've done a great job of watching, and it seems like you're comfortable watching. Is it weird watching your car go around the racetrack?
For the longest time, I didn't know whether I'd like it or not, but I can't stay away, and I obviously want to be here with Jeff's success, opportunity that he may win this race, to be able to see my guys enjoy that. We got a big group of guys. This whole situation's been challenging for the team, so for them to get a win, it's like when you get knocked out of the chase early. If you can get a win late in the race, it's a big boost to the morale of the team going into the off season. So this would be great for these guys if they can get a win here or at any of the remaining tracks on the schedule.
And again, knowing that this will be the last race for Jeff Gordon, another one that's making his last Martinsville start and race is the 14 of Tony Stewart.
A year ago, the celebration that took place on the front stretch was for Jeff Gordon, who thought it was his final time racing at Martinsville, but today was actually his final time racing at Martinsville. Dave?
Well, and we'll ask Rick, maybe for now, is this your last Martinsville start? Jeff, do we know?
As far as I know, I didn't anticipate running the races that I did this year, but I think it is, and I just can't thank Greg and this 88 Nationwide Chevrolet team enough. Rick, everybody, congrats to the 48 and Jimmy. Wow, that was impressive. I mean, I think everybody had him written off. You know, he had the damage on the left front. I hadn't seen him in my mirror, and you know, yeah, they caught a break, but boy, he had to go up there and drive it and go race to 11 the way he did, and that was, I could see it from a distance, and it was impressive. So they deserve it. You know, this team deserves a lot of credit. They've had to overcome a lot of crazy madness this year, and different drivers, and you know, the situation with Junior, and I couldn't be more proud of my last run in this car, which, you know, certainly this year I know for a fact, but I think it will be for the future as well. But I'm glad it was Martinsville. I had a lot of fun.
Well, and important, obviously, for the 48 to win today. You know what that feels like. That took you to the championship 4. What do you see in them going into that race?
Well, I mean, they've been hot right now. You know, you put those guys in a situation like this where they can advance the first round to go to Homestead. They're going to be working hard for that race. I know Homestead's not necessarily known as their best track, but when a championship's on line, especially number 7, watch what Jimmy and Chad and that 48 team can do, and all of Hendrick Motorsports will be putting every effort behind it to try to help them go get that championship.
Jeff, I know another big part for you. This is very important for the family to do well here. Finishing 6th today, how does that feel to present that to Mr. Hendrick?
It feels good. You know, it feels good to go out on a positive note. It wasn't a win, but I thought it was a really solid effort. I felt like, you know, I felt like the team just did an excellent job with the car all weekend long. And you know, there was times I thought, man, if we could get a little bit more track position, we might be able to compete with those guys. But that last run, running 30 laps under caution, I don't know what it did to my tires, but they were just balloons after that. And I just didn't have quite the balance and the grip. So had to settle for 6. I had a great battle there with Martin Truex Jr. That was a lot of fun. And trying to chase down those Gibbs guys, but just couldn't quite get to them.
Jeff, the fans loved it. Thank you again. And for now, Jeff will hang up the fire suit. Kelly?